Deadwax. What's up, all you sons of Sam, and welcome to the Deadwax Show with Waffles and the Stooge. Get out of the freaking groove and get into the Deadwax. Ooh, some hand motions.
Yeah.
I'm into that. The Happy Hands Club. I am Waffles, and as always, I'm joined by my best friend, older brother, who's making an ass of himself. Stooge.
I couldn't do my signature.
Oh my gosh, that was rad.
Hey,
How are you?
Waffles, how are you doing,
Shut
buddy?
up! Oh my gosh. I'm dying. Be nice to me.
Yes,
this episode's my Make-A-Wish.
This is your Make-A-Wish episode?
It's my 13th reason and my Make-A-Wish all at once.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Stooge, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. Look at my new hat.
Look at that new hat. For those who are just listening, what does the hat say?
It says Waffle Love.
Aww.
I thought it'd be appropriate for the show.
And you know what? I think it's appropriate too.
There's a cool restaurant. It used to be a food truck here in the Salt Lake City, Utah area called Waffle Love. And they make like waffles, like different types of like, you know, like they'll make the waffle and then you can put like chicken and waffles. You can have waffles with all these different toppings on it. And it's really delicious. I just discovered it last week and they had this hat. I'm like, oh, I could use that hat. So I bought it.
You're so sweet.
And
you're sweeter than those waffles.
It's a snapback. I usually don't buy snapbacks.
Yes, you do.
It's such a fat head that, you know, usually I'm on like the last snap and then it just feels weird. It doesn't feel secure, you know, on your head. So, but with this one, I can like do 3.
Whoa, so the 3.
I think my head's not gotten any smaller. It gets nothing but bigger,
okay.
Both physically and figuratively.
And from this podcast, yeah.
But you know, I think it's because my hair. I have my hair cut. I got a haircut this past week as well, so you can see on the sides. It looks.
Look at that.
Yeah. So
for those who are just listening, you're missing out because we got to see some hot haircut from Steve.
Yeah, some side head.
Some side. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Anyway.
How are you doing, buddy?
Oh my gosh, I'm so good. I'm so good now that I've seen the side head. I'm fine. I'm fine because I get to hang with you right now. That's all that matters. Yeah.
Awesome. Alrighty.
Should we go over what we picked up this week?
Yeah, let's go over pickups. Are you ready?
I've got a bunch, so I'm ready.
Oh my gosh, how many do you have?
A bunch.
A bunch?
Yeah.
Is it going to take up the whole episode? So
it's going to take the whole episode. If you want to go first, you're welcome.
Are you waiting for me to? Okay, I'll go first then.
You're welcome to go for it.
I have a couple.
Okay.
So first one I want to share. Here, I'll do this one first.
Ooh.
Outcast, Quimini. I want to say Aquamini or something like that, but I believe it's pronounced Aquamini. Anyways, this was the only like Outcast album I hadn't had, and it'd been out of repress. It felt like for a while.
Yeah,
and I'm starting to see them pop up again. So I saw one pop up, and I had to get a copy of it. So
that is so sick.
This has got one of my favorite Outkast songs in it called Rosa Parks, and I don't know if you ever heard of it. We'll have to put it on the playlist.
I don't know Rosa Parks. Let's put it on the playlist for sure.
You don't know who Rosa Parks is?
Oh my gosh!
The American Utah education system. Color me shocked. Anyways, but it's a great song. I'll make sure to add it to the playlist because I know you like to listen to playlists, and you'll get. That's a really cool song.
Yep.
Probably one of the more popular ones.
Right.
And that's saying a lot because they got a lot of.
They do have some bops, absolutely.
Hits,
yeah.
A lot of hits. I guess I'm going to share this one next.
Okay.
It's called Jacuzzi Jams. It's
Jacuzzi Jams.
A lesser known artist. He's called Inglewood. You can see it there on the Obi.
Yeah.
He makes kind of like if you could make pop yacht music, that's kind of like what like if I was expecting to like if I were to go on a cruise and then make like a highlight reel of it, like this is like the kind of music I would put over it.
Jacuzzi Jams.
So yeah, I really like this guy. I ordered this back in February. It just came this week. Yeah.
Dang.
It's pressed on blue. I'm not gonna take it out. You know what blue looks like, you know.
I wish you'd take it out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Always asking me.
I know.
Even off the show. I guess I could share this too. I got this. It's the Czarface. Sorry, my light. Zarmageddon on cassette tape.
Heck yeah.
I'm starting to. Here's the thing. Like,
Okay.
I went to the thrift store the other day,
Okay.
like 2 weeks ago, and I got this.
Ooh.
What brand? It's a realistic.
It's a tape player, everybody.
It's a tape player for those listening. It's a
Yeah.
realistic tape player. It's a tape player, and
Realistic.
it's got a no, that's the brand. That's what it says. On
Oh,
there.
okay. I thought it was like you're like, it's like so realistic.
Anyways, it's got a little speaker in it too, and it's just kind of cool. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it was $3, you know?
Yeah.
And of course, you know, this is probably made in like what, the 80s or something. I popped in, it takes four double A's, but pop those in, it still works. I mean, of course, it doesn't sound great because it's, you know, 40-year-old speaker, but I kind of like that about it. It sounds, you know, it's got like a lo-fi feel to it, and it just, I don't know. So sometimes I keep it here right on my desk. Nice. And I just kind of play tapes, but I had no tapes. So I'm starting to buy a few tapes, which is fine because they're only.
I love that you like whispered that.
I know. So
I'm starting to buy tapes. Yeah,
I'm getting into the tapes. Anyways, so I was trying. I went and I was looking for a few tapes because I had none to even test it. I didn't even know if it would work. You know, if it would play. So the first one I got is The Doors.
The Doors.
Because honestly, their sound, I feel like, is perfect for kind of a lo-fi thing like this. Of course, it sounds great on a hi-fi system and everything like that. But yeah, I got that, and I also got the Cars.
Look at you.
And then I got that Czarface one. I got three cassettes now. But yeah, like it's kind of fun just to have it here. And at Graywell, if you have like their membership, you know, I think it's like what, $20-$30 to sign up for their
20, yeah.
For their Become a Whale membership. I don't know. I just made that part up.
Killer whale.
But anyways, I think their used tapes are like, I think this one was like priced at $4. It was only $2 on the receipt. So I don't know if it's 50% off or it's just $2 off their used tapes, but. Yeah. If I can buy, you know, a tape here and there for a couple bucks, I don't see the harm in that.
There you go.
Just kind of like how my record collection started.
Yeah, that I was about to say that is the slipperiest slope ever. It's just like, I'll just get, you know, like one or two, and then all of a sudden you're investing in these super limited tapes. Yeah.
I know, right? I need to get the color variant tapes.
I have to get the color variant tapes. Hey man, I have color variant tapes. I'm not one to talk.
Anyway, so yeah, that came in the mail.
Sick.
And then the last thing I just got to share, of course. Return to the Dream Canteen by the Red Hot Chili Peppers came out this week. I got the gold variant indie exclusive, which looks really cool, and love this album. Just as good as the one that came out earlier this year. So, man, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I know you're not a huge fan, but they have just consistently put out great music. So, like again, like. They're one of those bands that have been around so long. I kind of feel like I've never really considered them one of my favorite bands, but just listening to them, like they're so good. How are they not, you know, one of my favorite bands? And anyways, they're awesome. So if you haven't checked out that album, that's the one I highly recommend. Give it a check out. So, and
that just came out, right?
Yeah, it just came out on Friday. Friday.
See, I'm in love with these bands that can actually plan a vinyl release and an album release at the same time these days. Because that's becoming more and more rare, which is sad to say, but like, it is great when you can actually go to the record store on album release day and the record's there.
Yeah, I feel like all they did for like the pandemic was sit in the studio and crank out songs. And they're like, we've got a back catalog of 50 songs that are ready to go, you know, because I'm sure at any given point each artist has like however many songs that they're still fine tuning, you know. So anyways, so they put out two you know albums this year that each have like more than 15 songs on them. So
that's crazy.
It's incredible. Yeah. Some artists can't even put out a 10, you know, song. And
every 3 years.
It's good stuff. You know, it's good. I'm not going to say like, it's a classic album. It's going to be etched into the walls of greatness or anything like that, but it's a really good album still.
I love that on the walls of greatness. One thing that's going to be etched into them is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Absolutely.
Return to the Dream Canteen.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Is it Return to or Return of? It's one of those. It's
the Dream Canteen's making a return.
Dream Canteen, yep. Yeah, I never knew it went away. I never knew it was here, honestly.
I know, seriously. Like, how dare we not keep up with the Dream Canteen?
Yep.
Is it canteen like the water you drink from, or canteen like kitchen in the desert kind of thing?
It's Canteen, whichever one that is. I
I don't
figured that was
remember
the
which
one
one
you
that
drink
is.
out
Yeah,
of.
sorry. I think that's what you drink out of.
You drink out of the Dream Canteen and you have dreams. I don't know.
There you go. You better
Maybe
give it
it's
away.
maybe it's something like it's alcohol or some kind of drug and you
Ooh,
hallucinate. That's what the dream is. I don't know.
that would be them.
They're hitting the bong. That's what it is, huh? That's what it's got to be.
The Dream Canteen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We just
I got some records as well. We can kill this joke. Okay. So I got a bunch though, so everyone get ready. The first one is a shout out to our little local boys here in Utah, and that is A Patient Man by Cult Leader. That's beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful red stripe if you can't see it.
Yeah, it looks like a Black Widow, the way it's
totally.
the shape of it. Anyways.
Fun fact, you mentioned Graywell. Several members of Cult Leader used to work at Graywell.
Oh,
there
nice.
You go. Mm-hmm. Cult Leader, they're great though. They're one of Utah's bands. They're actually going somewhere. Utah has a lot of fantastic local music, but not everybody goes somewhere. So not to be shady, but to be shady. The next one, very excited on this one because the record turned out very beautiful, and that is A Eulogy for Those Still Here by Counterparts.
Ooh,
if you can see this record, turned out
really
very
cool.
beautiful. It's like a blue and white smash with a blue, white, and red smash with orange splatter throughout that's translucent.
If I could paint a picture, it looks like a small stars exploding in a cloudy sky.
Totally. If you were to shoot a gun at a jawbreaker, it would be this guy right here.
Or an apple.
An apple? If you were to shoot a gun,
if you were to shoot a gun small at an apple, baby
shoot
turtle.
An apple at a jawbreaker.
If you shot a gun at an apple.
If you shot a turtle with an apple, that's exactly what this would look like. Anyway, this is a phenomenal album by Counterparts. Their singer, sadly, is not doing very great mentally, and so this album was like a big reason he wanted to get out into the world.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
Exactly. Counterparts, they are known for incredibly sad lyrics, but the music's great. The next one, Stooge actually got for me. He picked up the record store because he's a good friend, and that is Birds in Row. This is their album. I think it's pronounced Gris Klein. I'm thinking it's like German or something. I don't know how to pronounce it. But anyway,
Gris Klein.
Gris Klein.
How they say it.
Not many of these appeared in America. So when our local record store, Graywell, got one in, Stooge going in, and I was like, I will kiss your feet. I will put those toes right in my mouth.
No, he was like, you said pick it up or I'm releasing the tapes, is what you said.
Yeah.
You've got some kind of blackmail on me.
Then he picked it up and I released the tapes. That was the villainy of it all.
I'm releasing the video.
I like just got into this band. My buddy Ryan, he told me, oh my gosh, you have to check it out. And it is very weird, screamy, angry, sad, but like experimental. Oh my gosh, I can't get enough of it. So that was a great one.
Sounds like I would hate it.
I genuinely think you would hate it. The next one is from an album from my youth, when I was a youth in the junior highs.
Chumbawamba?
Chumbawamba. I'm not that young. Or old. I don't know what I was trying to say. Anyway, and that is Still Searching by Census Fail.
Yes.
This is a big deal. A lot of us picked this up, and this is just the purple one.
Is that album called Peekaboo?
It's called Peekaboo, actually. So what you do is you play Peekaboo with the album while you're listening to it, and it changes the sound. Anyway, I got into Census Fail because of Guitar Hero 3. They had their song Can't Be Saved from this album on Guitar Hero 3 on like
How's
the
it
bonus. I'm stuck in a coma, stuck in a never-ending sleep.
I must not got that down.
And it's on the bonus songs. So on Guitar Hero 3, there was like the normal songs you play like through the story, and then there was like the side songs that you could like unlock. Here's one of the unlock songs. Anyway, great album. Very excited to finally have it. I've been listening to this album since 2006. And then
it was just crazy to think. Yeah.
The last one I'm going to cover up because there's a very naughty word on it. I'm going to cover up. One's like covered up already.
What's naughty word is it?
So this is by a band I went and saw this last week that I really did not know much about. They're called The Chats, and the album is called Get Hugged.
Get Hugged. Nice.
Get Hugged. Exactly. But anyway, I went and saw them this last week. They were playing with two bands I love. My buddy Brad wanted to go see them too. They're an Australian punk band who are just ridiculous. Like beyond ridiculous. Most of the songs are just stupid and have really funny stories. Like when they have a song called I'm gonna make sure I get the name right. My apologies.
Is it called Didgeridoo?
This song is called I've Been Drunk in Every Pub in Brisbane. And this singer introduced by saying, "I promise you, this title is a joke." Heh. But they were tons of fun. There's even a song called "The Price of Smokes," and it's a song about how cigarettes just go up in cost. So it's not like they're not talking about deep meaning or anything like that. But
I thought they were talking about doing like sexual favors or something like that. But
I mean. But anyway, they were tons of fun. The chats were super fun. Wild band live. People went crazy, and it was like the first time playing in Salt Lake City. So it was a really fun show. Their accents are just thick, man. Thick
just
as a
like
koala's
their
fur.
Instruments.
Exactly. So anyway, the chats, I will add this band to the playlist because they are tons of fun. I'm trying to angle that so you can't see the name of the album.
I saw it. Dang it.
No, we lost our sponsors again. But anyway, sponsors. Good week for records. Also, this is just a quick Waffles tip. Just a quick. I don't like how I said that. Here's just a suggestion from Waffles. If you go to a concert and you want to buy a record, like you see it at the merch table, you want to get the vinyl, wait till the end of the show to get it, or pay the merch person before and say, "Will you hold it until I leave?" Because having to hold a record through a concert is misery. So, quick little tip for you concert nerds that want to buy records at concerts.
People. That's our cross to bear, We have to hold those records during the concert. Some people had to sail across the unknown oceans to get to the Americas,
Seriously. Someday
and we just have to hold those records during those shows.
Absolutely. I firmly believe in an afterlife where I'm going to meet pioneers and pilgrims and stuff, and they'll talk about diphtheria and typhoid and whatnot. And I'll be like, one time I had to hold a record through a 4-hour concert. I know you think your life was hard, but you didn't even know.
And they're going to be like, "You lived to your 30s?"
just even describing to them what music is, they're like, "That sounds fascinating."
They had music.
No, they didn't. Music wasn't invented until the 1950s. Okay, dude.
The Beatles, right?
The Beatles. My favorite, honestly. They have an album called Rubber Soul, and there's a song in it called Norwegian Wood. Oh,
so good.
Shout out, Scott. Okay, dude. We went through our pickups. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
So why don't we just go into the topic, because we've kind of talked about records a lot.
Yeah, we do talk a lot about records.
I mean, it's literally part of the show. It's part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But so we came up with a concept for today's subtopic that, as like not even just a record nerd, but as music fans, is very important. Mm-hmm. And that is, Stooge, give us the title.
We're gonna be talking about album covers today.
Freaking right.
Album covers. I'm just gonna jump right into it if you don't mind. Yeah. I think album covers are super important. Sometimes it can be, a forgettable thing for some people because they just want to hear the music.
Absolutely.
But as a record collector, I think, I shouldn't say that people don't collect records don't appreciate the album cover, but I think as a record collector, it's more prominent because, you get that physical piece of media. And especially because albums are so big, I'm kind of spoiling some of mine here. But because albums are so big, you can kind of really, inspect it. Not that you couldn't do that on your phone or your computer or whatnot.
It's different, though. It's different.
I just feel it's different. I don't want to say it's better or more significant or
I'll say
more, yes, I inspect.
I collect records.
Yeah. Not like that at
my
all.
finances. Yeah.
But I do notice as a record player, I've only been collecting records for a little over 3 years now. And I've noticed that difference and like appreciating looking at album covers a little bit more. So there's some, actually before I even say that, there have been times where I bought records, a handful, just based on the album,
Absolutely.
So if you have like a really kick-ass album cover or just an interesting one, I think it can do a lot for your sales.
100%.
I think also, I'm curious sometimes how much creative control some of the artists have over their album covers. That would be something interesting to find out. Yeah. Because, there's some that are just so weird, that, and then there's some that seems like they're chosen for commercial purposes.
Absolutely.
Like, if there's like a lot of skin showing. So like,
it's just someone's face. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that they can't be art. Like for example,
not.
like let's say Beyonce's most recent album cover. Sorry, I'm taking a quick tangent here.
You're fine.
Are you familiar with? She's on the horse, wearing like the
Yes, she's on
jewel
the horse. Thank
stuff,
you. Yeah.
and it's very revealing. Now that's definitely can be art, women empowerment, all that kind of stuff. I see it too.
Absolutely.
I wonder, like, if maybe Beyonce probably has creative control over that. I don't know, but I'm just using that as an example of like when I mean skin, the sex appeal,
Yeah.
and it's not just a woman thing too. There's aspects of that with men as well.
Absolutely.
Like when you think back to like I don't know Backstreet Boys. I don't know if Backstreet Boys ever showed skin, but just just that sex appeal.
But it was the same thing. It was like to show sex appeal, exactly.
So album covers, I think there's some that are controversial. That's a whole topic as well that we could go into.
Yep.
But just some of the more iconic ones I wanted to mention because just for example, like let's say Dark Side of the Moon.
Absolutely.
Like probably one of the most, if not the most, popular album covers of all time. And I'm sure lots of people recognize that album, but may not even know like what songs are on there, or who's the artist, or anything like that. Other ones like Abbey Road,
Abbey Road, exactly.
Super iconic, tons of artwork and stuff like that all over about that one. Thriller, I think, is a popular one too, just because of the amount of albums that album has sold. Copies, seriously. I should say.
Seriously. But you're right. Like an iconic album cover can pretty much like define so much of that album. You should never judge a book by its cover, but you can often judge albums by their cover. And so much of album covers, like Stooge just said, he said it so well. You often don't even need to know the artist or the songs or the wording on it to recognize that it's an album that a lot of people know. Nevermind, great example. See a naked baby in the water. It's not like you say, "Oh, what is that?" Or is that from something? We all know what that is.
Yeah.
Dookie by Green Day. There's so many records and album covers that really are defining for that band and are huge. So like she said, sometimes the controversial album cover can get their name out there. The Strokes with the first one.
Yeah,
that was huge. That was huge for them. Yeah.
Shoot. The Beatles even. What was the album they had?
With the babies?
The Butcher Babies. That was called the Butcher Baby album cover.
They had the pieces of baby dolls, but I don't remember. It wasn't called like Butcher Babies.
Is it Yesterday?
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember which album it was, but they did have like a cover that didn't last very long. Yeah, and for record collectors, that is like a big deal if you can get one of those OG ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You go for a lot of money.
Exactly.
Even the Nirvana one's got some controversy now too. Isn't like the is that just a rumor that the baby that was originally on there is like suing for?
Yeah, so that already got finalized.
Okay.
He had no case.
Yeah, no case. Okay.
He had no case. He tried suing Nirvana and saying that by him being a naked child on an album cover, it caused him like lifelong damage, and he was way past like the statute of limitations, and they were like, "You have no prayer." And also, you're going against a band whose legal team has already been through quite a lot. There's one of those like
they're pretty seasoned.
Don't even Well, think about like all the legal stuff Nirvana's had to do for 30 years now with Courtney Love and everything. So it's basically like, oh yeah, don't even try.
Yeah.
But anyway, like you said, controversy with album covers happens a lot because the album cover, just like music itself, is art, and so it can evoke emotion. It can make you feel something, and that's what we want to do today on the Deadwax Show. Is Stooge and I picked some of our favorite album covers from our record collections that we wanted to show off to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try our best for those listening to describe what the album looks like. If you're watching on YouTube, congrats, you're going to love it more. Stooge, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll start us off. I guess I'll share the first one I kind of already showed.
Oh, yeah.
It's License to Ill by the Beastie Boys.
Beautiful.
I don't think I really have to describe this one because I think this is one of those album covers I think most people are familiar with.
Still describe it though.
Doesn't know. It's the one that has like the tail end of an airplane, and then on like the back fin of the airplane, it has the Beastie Boys logo. What's really cool about this? I mean, I love this album too. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. But one thing I wanted to share about this album and why I appreciate this one so much is I kind of feel like it tells a story about the Beastie Boys at this time. So this was the Beastie Boys like first album with Def Jam. It's really their first album. Like they put out other stuff when they were doing the punk stuff, found like local success. Nothing like this is worldwide, success with License to Ill. Anyways, they this record pops off. They go, they tour with Madonna. they're going around the world because of this album, get rich because of this album.
Yeah.
But like, even though they found a lot of success as young kids, you know, when lots of success and money comes, sometimes other problems come as well.
Yeah.
So what's really cool about this album is I feel like it, at the time, it didn't mean to do this, but now when you look at it, you can, because this front cover only tells half the story. So it's actually a gatefold, and when you
I didn't
open
know
it,
that.
look at this. Wrong way. It's a plane crashing. Do you see
I've
that?
never known this.
So you can hold it that way; it's crashing into the ground.
Yeah.
If you want to, oh, the record almost fell out. If you want to hold it this way, it's like crashing into the I don't know, a wall or a mountain.
Yeah.
But I feel like that kind of describes what happened to the band because of this album. They were flying high.
Interesting.
And they ran into so many issues, like in their personal and professional lives, because of the success they found from this album. Like, you know, Mike D, like I'm sure all of them did drugs, but Mike D was starting to get really big into drugs.
Yeah.
They caught a lot of flack because they were like just considered frat rap, you know?
Yeah.
Like all the, even though like they try to claim, oh, we were just making fun of those guys. I think they were kind of into the hype themselves a little bit, which I'm not mad at them because they were young, they were getting lots of attention and money. I try to put myself in their shoes and like, how different would I have been? What's really cool is they did, you know, after the wreck, how much this album kind of, you know, caused them trouble in their personal lives. They were obviously able to you know, course correct and come out of it and became one of the more sociably conscionable groups out there. So anyways, yeah, so that's why I wanted to share this, because I thought, one, I love it because I love the Beastie Boys. I think it's a cool looking album cover. But yeah, most people don't know that the other half is, oh, this thing's actually crashed. You know,
that's sick.
So once again, I don't think they intended for that to be for what it's meant, because, you know, it came out and then they had all the success. But just looking back on it, that's kind of what I take from it. So anyways, that's what I wanted to share.
That was great, dude. I love that. Yeah. A little bit of Stooge insight for you. I picked the records I did, not necessarily because they're like my favorite bands, but I just think these album covers specifically are like speak to the art I love. First one I picked is Creatures by Motionless in White. If you cannot see it, it is a highly like illustrated version of a cemetery with zombie hands and crows and a big moon.
The big moon looks cool.
Big moon looks super cool, and there's a great color scheme with like purple, a lot of purples and blues and stuff. And black, anyway, this is Motionless's first album. Like full length album. They had a couple EPs that went very, very successful. But the back fold of this one too, same artwork, just a big crow. Anyway, the moon. I love crap like this. Like a lot of color, a lot of really interesting ways of doing things, and their logo has actually stayed very consistent. They still use this logo.
Oh, nice.
Over the like freaking 15 years they've been a band.
You can actually read it. That's good.
You can actually read it, exactly. Anyway, Creatures, this album was very big for them, and that artwork became very iconic for like Motionless fans because it's all about like, you know, zombies and cemeteries and stuff. So there you go.
All right,
that's my first one.
All right, next one I'm going to share. I'm actually going to do this one.
How many do you have,
here.
by the way?
I thought we were going to do 5.
Yeah, okay, just making sure.
Okay, perfect. Here, I actually don't need to take this one out.
Ooh, I wish you would take it out.
1,000 Suns.
Yes.
By Linkin Park.
Iconic, yeah.
So, you know, Linkin Park, I've always appreciated Linkin Park. This album, for some reason this year, has really connected with me. And I never would have paid this album a thought anytime before this year that much.
Yeah.
But it's really connected with me this year for some reason. And what's weird is it's a concept album about, you know, nuclear war and the end of the world. Which is kind of funny. But it's got some really great songs on it. Anyways, the album cover, I always thought it was like just a fuzzy picture of like a bird, you know, like here's the head of the bird and like these are the wings, you know, and then this part is just the tail of it, you know.
That's what I've always assumed, actually.
But there's no clear, like the band hasn't really came out and said what it was, but what they think it's supposed to resemble is it's called 1,000 Suns, and that's a reference to, I think it was Oppenheimer talking about the heat of an atomic explosion, and they think this is some kind of infrared, like inverted. That's the word I think it is.
There you go.
Black and white explosion or something like that.
That's crazy.
But I still think it's a really cool. I love how like simplistic yet I don't know, kind of fuzzy it is. I should know this word because I'm a psychology major, but you know the paintings you look at, you know, a psychiatrist show you a painting,
the Rorschach
a dot there. That's the word.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that almost.
Absolutely, where you can like you sort of put yourself into it and make it what you want.
Yeah. So like, I look at it and like, oh, it looks like a bird, but someone else could look at it and be, see something else. And so that's another aspect of it. I love it's up for a little bit of interpretation, but
yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So that's the one I want to share. I like how just simple of a concept, yet how intricate it could be. So mentally, cool, I guess you could say, or interpretation wise. So
I feel like you have such deep answers. Mine are so like, it just looks cool.
I've got actually a couple like that, but anyways.
No, I love it. My next one is just the same thing. It just looks cool. There's no deep meaning. This is by the death metal band Witch Vomit, and it is
Witch Vomit.
Exactly. This is Poison Blood. It is supposed to be what it looks like from inside a grave as you're entering hell. So if you can't see it, there's two like hands that the flesh is rotting away from them. And the walls of the grave are lined with skulls and demons and stuff. And it's looking up into a night sky that has birds and stars in a spiral pattern. There, that's the word.
And the walls are like a mostly red color, and the sky's like a dark blue. So it's got a really cool contrasting color scheme.
Witch Vomit always has really freaking, like, death metal in general tends to have just really freaking sick artwork. As the same thing as a way to sell albums. It's been that since it started. But this one I think it's just so freaking cool. Yeah, because it's an interesting concept. The colors work together so well. It's painted beautifully.
Yeah, I like this one better than the other one. What was the name? Motionless Silence. What was
Motionless in White.
Motionless in White. Yeah.
And this is Witch Vomit.
And Witch Vomit.
See. Also, Witch Vomit rules. Please stream. Anyway, I really love this one. Witch Vomit continues to put out great music and great records. Gotcha. Actually, upon further, if I can zoom in, by zoom in, I just hold it close to the camera. They're not like birds or bats. They're like demonic alien bats.
It looks like it almost looks like a black, what do you call it, a black wasp or something.
Yeah. That's crazy. So there you go, looking from the inside of a grave and what it looks like when you're buried. Witch Vomit.
Gotcha. All right, my next one.
Okay, see it.
I want to preface this by saying it's like sometimes you're like, oh, I like the way the color it looks and stuff like that, and so this one, I don't know, like it's a little graphic. It's not super graphic, but I just got to preface it. Okay. But I feel like this album cover just speaks so much to the band, what kind of, I guess, band you're going to be getting into.
Oh, heck.
So it's Rage Against the Machine's self-titled album cover, and as you know, it's got that monk who set himself on fire in protest of, I can't remember exactly what it was, but some kind of government injustice at the time. Maybe was it about Vietnam? I can't remember. I'd have to research it again. I don't want to.
Yeah, I've done the research too, but I couldn't tell you exactly right now.
No. But yeah, so it is a very, like I said, it's not like it's in black and white, so it's not like you can really see, but you can clearly see there's a guy on fire.
Yep.
And it really sets the tone for Rage Against the Machine and just how no holds barred they can be when it comes to their music and the content of the music as well. And it's an album, like I feel like some album covers can kind of just be forgettable, and Absolutely. I feel like this one is very unforgettable because of how what's the word I'm looking for? Just how explicit the cover, the content is of the cover. So
it's shocking the first time you see it, so you remember it much better.
So yeah, it's definitely, I think, a picture that describes what to expect from Rage Against the Machine 2. You're not going to pick this up, and it's not easy listening. It's very in your face, hard content. I don't know if hard's the right word, but
no, I get that. And the magic of that cover is that you know exactly what you're going to listen to. It's protest music, so it's genius.
Yeah, so I really like, it's another one. I think that's another thing about Rage Against the Machine when I first found them was just how like, whoa, that's a
jarring
intense,
is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, jarring. This how jarring and intense the album cover is. So I wanted to share that one.
Love it, man. You picked such good ones.
Oh, thank you.
My next one is by one of my favorite bands. They're called Harm's Way, and same thing. This is a fascinating concept. Whatever artist did this, brava! It is so fantastic.
Brava!
This is their album Post-Human. And it is a human head. It looks like it's supposed to have been shot through, but it's got crystals growing inside of it. Yeah. So, and the back cover is the back of the head.
Oh, yeah.
So same thing.
They were shot in the back of the head, actually.
Sure.
That's how the entrance wound is smaller. The exit wound's always bigger. Usually.
Amen. And when there's crystals growing inside your remains, that's when you need to see the doctor. Anyway, this album artwork is beautiful because that's literally the whole record. It's just the head with crystals.
Yeah.
And it is so stunning. I thought this concept was so cool when they came out with it. Also, if you look closer, some of the crystals are supposed to look like guts. It's really, really well done.
Nice.
But anyway, I I love this album. I love this band. Harm's Way, super heavy, super in your face, hardcore band. But this album, when they release this artwork, their artwork is never like matched. None of the albums look identical, and I love that.
Gotcha.
I got nothing but respect for bands that have like consistent artwork. That's rad. But Harm's Way, they all look different. They're different artists. So when they have this one that looks like what's like it's surrealism, right? It's slightly realistic, but can in no way be realistic. That's my kind of shit or stuff. So I know I said
you
not
potty mouth. I'm about to censor your potty mouth.
Listen to the chats once and all of a sudden. So there you go. Posthuman by Harm's Way. I highly recommend if you're looking for like gym or workout music. Harm's Way does it better than anybody.
Perfect. All right. Well, you just mentioned how you like how each of theirs is unique. My next one is by a group who's got a theme throughout all of their albums. And that is Czarface. I'm going to take this one out.
Yeah, man.
So the cool thing about Czarface is every single one of their albums has their character here, Czarface, on them. And each one generally is a recreation of some kind of really popular comic, either cover or, some kind of really iconic picture from a comic. We're talking Marvel and stuff like that. So this one's actually a remake of Thanos and the Infinity Stones. This would have been this would be Thanos, in the original. You can look it up. But yeah, I really love this one because I love, once again, the art, the comic book art of it. Yep. I love the space behind it, like the planets and the kind of the green stars and everything like that.
Yep.
And album's great too. All of Czarface's albums got some kind of comic looking drawing of Czarface on them, and they're all really unique and cool in their own way. And this one just happens to be my favorite, but they've got so many to choose from because they got so many albums out now.
They do.
But Czarface, this one I had to share for number 2 because, my favorite band or, my favorite hip hop group, and just a really cool album cover.
Absolutely. I love the top, what would be top left little 60-cent thing. That's so sick.
Yeah.
But to look like a comic book. Yeah.
Yep. And that's what he does on all of them too. So
that's so cool.
Yep. So there you go.
I love a good theme like that.
This is Every Hero Needs a Villain by Czarface, in case anyone know exactly which album it is.
Love it, dude.
Yep. And that one's got no special meaning besides the comic thing. I just really like the artwork. So there you go, Waffles. Unlike you.
This is your first time not having special meaning.
Yeah. Ooh, pretty colors.
I know, seriously.
That
pressing's rad.
I've showed it before, but there you go. You can see it again. It's clear. It's got a blue smash in the middle with orange and green splatter.
That is so sick. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
My next one I've actually shown on the podcast as well. I don't remember why we were talking about album artwork, but I showed it. And this is California Curse by Drain.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Very pretty colors. Drain is a Bay Area band. And if you're not able to see this, it's an illustrated version of like a very violent beach. So there's like skeletons and sharks, but it goes into a rainbow color scheme. So there's red sky, green, blue water, pink sky, pink clouds, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, like this aesthetic of like surfer cartoons is my favorite. Arguably this is one of my favorite album artworks of all time, just because I love crap like that.
Look at those similar color schemes.
Absolutely similar color schemes. If you're listening, Stooge pulled out the new Red Hot Chili Peppers album. It is identical color scheme to this Drain album.
Yep.
So sick, dude. Anyway, because I'm a beach person, I love this album artwork, and it's so fun. Drain is one of the best bands in hardcore right now. And as you can see on the back, Drain is your friend. Oh, see, isn't that sweet? Anyway, but this is one of the best hardcore records of the time. So if you like hardcore, listen to California Curse by Drain.
Perfect. All right, my last one.
Okay, let's see it.
I've shown it 100 times, so it should be no surprise.
Heck yeah.
Greatest Hits by Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin, one of my favorite bands of all time. And I love space exploration. And you saw my previous record, I specifically mentioned I love the space background. So on this one, just for everyone listening, this is their early days, the Best of Led Zeppelin Volume 1. It's got the band members on it, and they're in astronaut spacesuits minus the helmet pieces. and it's got a really cool like Led Zeppelin, almost like a mission logo, but but got the moon with a rocket in the eye as
So
part of the
cool.
logo, and then the rest of it's got a starry night or space sky. And I just, like I said, this album like speaks to me because I love the band and I love that it's space themed because space exploration is a big interest of mine.
Too.
So this album, like, this is like top 5 most I paid for an album. This one right here,
Really?
it wasn't cheap, yeah, and it's also not in perfect condition either. Too, you can see like the top's got like a split, and stuff like that, and it's definitely loved. But it's still, considering this is like 30 years old now almost. It's not bad. So that's my my favorite one. Like if I could make a poster, this would probably be the one I'd make into a poster and hang on the wall. So
get that tattooed across your entire back. Your entire back. That'd be sick.
How about I get the moon tattooed on my butt?
You wouldn't need much. You wouldn't need much. It wouldn't look much different. My number one, same thing. This actually does have a concept. It's my first one with a deeper concept. I'm very excited.
Deeper meaning?
Exactly. And that is Monolith of Inhumanity by Cattle Decapitation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the point of this album and of the artwork is de-evolution. So if you cannot see it, if you are just listening, this is a bunch of monkeys in front of an actual monolith. But the main monkey on the cover is a man who is ripping his skin off and revealing a monkey underneath. So, and they're on a giant pile of trash. Cattle Decapitation is a big advocate of veganism and of recycling. And so a lot of their album artwork is what overusing plastic does to humanity. Anyway, this is a phenomenal album. It's very intense, very extreme. But Monolith, I would say, is the best Cattle Decap album. And that artwork is just so freaking sick. They have a special artist that has done, I believe, all of their albums. And he kills it every time with the detail. It is right in that zone of it looks very realistic, but also obviously not realistic.
Yeah,
but
I would say, it's on. I mean, if you were to, when it comes to just picturing this, if you're watching, art style, I would say it's like early Renaissance, late Dark Ages kind of when it comes to, well, it feels like Dark Ages message, but definitely more Renaissance era, when it comes to the quality of the paint. It looks like a painting.
Exactly.
More than anything. It's not like
Exactly.
So
it's not like a Photoshop thing. It's a painting.
Yeah,
and what's super sick about them is that the color scheme of this is to, on purpose, make you think about pollution because they're very anti-pollution. So you think about like a poison sky, and then what we as society do, we become animals when we're not willing to become people. And so like I love a deep meaning, and oh my gosh, they're full of deep meanings. So there you go. Monolith of Inhumanity. This is also where some of their more controversial songs come from. Is from this album. So if you think a band called Cattle Decapitation has controversial songs, most of them come from Monolith of Inhumanity. Also just a great record. Listen with your family. Listen with your family. Look at us.
All the way through it, yeah.
Chilling on those album covers, man. Good choices. We will try to put as many of these onto our playlist, like one song from a bunch of them. I don't know if everybody wants to hear a certain Cattle Decapitation song, but we'll put most of them on the playlist.
Sounds good.
Absolutely.
Well, are you ready to do trivia now, my friend?
Babe, I am so ready to do trivia. It's not even funny.
All right. Well, I mean, you're super ready, but I've picked a band that you're not super into.
Heck yeah.
But they had a new album come out this week, so I had to do it. I had to do it. It's Red Hot Chili Peppers.
It's the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yep. So, like I said, they had an album come out. So I'm like, well, we're going to do them. Yeah, it's relevant.
Okay, I'm into it. Let's do it.
Waffles, historically not a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, but I think he'll still get a lot of this stuff correct.
Yeah. I'm into it.
All right. So I should have thought this beforehand. So, if you get, there's 10 questions. If you get 5 or more correct, we'll say you're under the bridge. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yikes.
And then if you get less than 5, I don't know, I can't think of one of the songs that would make sense with it, but you're Danny California. There you go.
Danny California. I'm Danny California. Okay,
all right.
Sick.
Here we go. Are you ready to start this?
I'm ready to start this.
Okay. Question number 1. If you get 1 right, I'll give you a point. But can you name, how many members of the band can you name?
Anthony Kiedis.
Yep.
Flea.
Yep.
Chad.
Mm-hmm.
What's his last name? It's not Kroger. That's the guy from Nickelback.
Chad Kroger. It's Smith.
Chad.
Smith.
Well, that was easy. And then the guitarist,
Current guitarist, yeah.
the current guitarist. I can't think of his name, dude.
It's John, and it's Frusciante. I don't know. I can't.
Oh, John. Yes. I've seen that name.
Yeah.
And didn't Dave Navarro used to be in?
Yes,
Red
he
Hot Chili
did.
Peppers?
When John left the band right
Yes,
after
that's
they
right.
found success with Six, Magic, All That Jazz.
Yeah.
And then that's the name of the album too, just so you know, Six, Magic, All That Jazz.
Oh, exactly. All that jazz. That sounds like very Red Hot Chili Peppers.
And yeah, Navarro I think came on for like an album.
He was there for
or
a few
two.
years.
Yeah.
But not very long.
Anyways, yep.
So that's just 1 point?
1 point. Yep. You named at least one.
Sick.
All right. What's their city of origin?
California somewhere. I'm going to say Los Angeles.
Yeah, good job. That's what it
Hey,
is. Yeah.
look at that.
All right. How many studio albums have they done? According to Wikipedia.
Didn't you say 10 before?
Is it 10 or is it
Yes,
more?
I'm going to say 10.
It's more than 10. It's actually 13 they're up to now.
Oh, 13. Dang,
yes.
son.
But they formed in 1983, believe it or not.
They've been around for a long time.
Almost 40 years. 40 years next year they will have been a band.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
All right. I need you to name at least 5 albums.
Okay. Blood, Sex, Sugar, Magic.
Yep, you're welcome.
Mother's Milk.
Yep. That's 2.
Stadium Arcadium.
Yep, that's 3. Good job. They had 2 come out this year. I haven't gotten to those
did.
yet. We've talked about 1.
We literally the canteen, the return of the Magic Canteen. I got most of it. Please let me have that.
Well, there's like 3 major words in it, and you got 2 of the major words.
The return.
That's one of them.
Of
the doesn't count. Those are like filler words.
Okay.
What kind of canteen is it? That's really important.
Magic. Potions. Reversed canteen. The enchanted canteen.
It's a very important. It's a very specific type of canteen.
You did say
if I just say, oh, grab me the blue canteen, but it's really a red canteen, you're gonna bring me the wrong canteen.
I know. I don't remember the word. I'll be honest. What was it? We won't count it. But what was it?
It's the Dream Canteen.
Dream Canteen.
Dude, okay. The Magic Canteen.
I only have
Sugar
3.
Sex Canteen.
I only have 3. I need to
You can only
2
do
more.
3. Okay.
No, I'm
2
naming
more.
2 more.
Okay.
They have the self-titled album, the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
They do actually. Good job.
Hey!
Their first album.
I have finally learned from you to just always guess the self-titled.
I need 1 more.
I need 1 more. Okay, brain. They have an album.
I mean, a couple of them are named after like songs. If you start naming like popular songs, maybe
Under the Bridge.
No.
Give It Away.
No. But one of them has "way" in it.
Well, that helped. The Way of the Surf. The Way of the Bridge. The Way of the Beach.
The Way of Flea.
The Way of Flea. I give up, dude. I can't get a 5th one. I'm
all
sorry.
right, that's all right. I wasn't expecting you to. All right, so it's By the Way is the one I was mentioning.
Oh, there you go.
By the Way. Anyways, other ones, Freaky Styley, and then the Uplift Mofo Party Plan. I'm surprised you didn't get that one.
Yeah.
1 Hot Minute, Californication. I'm With You, The Getaway.
Californication.
Unlimited Love is the other one that came out this year. All right, here we go.
Dang it. Okay.
Flea appeared in this 2017 Edgar Wright heist film.
Baby Driver.
Very good.
Hey.
Give him a point, Vanna. All right, next one. Chad Smith plays drums on Patient Number 9 by this artist.
Patient Number 9?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Think of an artist who just had an album come out this year, 2 years ago.
Machine Gun Kelly.
But yeah, Machine Gun Kelly. It's the artist. It's an album. Patient Number 9. You don't know? I thought for sure you'd get this one. I specifically put it in here because I thought you'd get it.
Oh.
You don't know who did it?
I'm going to feel stupid. Billie Eilish.
No. It's an old. He's old. Old metal. Think old metal.
Ozzy Osbourne.
You got it.
Hey!
There you go.
Thank you for holding my hand through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The Red Hot Chili Peppers won their first Grammy in 1993 for Best Hard Rock Performance for this song.
In 93, I'm going to say Give It Away.
Good job. That's a point.
Hey, look at that.
All right. This year, the Red Hot Chili Peppers received one of these located on 6212 Hollywood Boulevard.
I'm going to guess a star on the Hollywood Walk
they
of
got
Fame.
a star. They got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Hey, guess what? I'm not under the bridge anymore.
No, you're not. Good job, buddy.
Thanks, pal.
I thought you were under the bridge if you got more than 5. You were at Danny, California if you didn't.
Oh, well, whatever.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. 2 more questions left.
Okay, here we go.
This legendary producer has produced 8 Red Hot Chili Peppers albums. Oh, speaking of which, he's also the same guy that produced this bad boy.
Okay. I don't know producers very well. So
he's worked on some System of a Down stuff as well. He's worked with a lot of artists because he's so legendary.
Quincy Jones.
You know what? I think Quincy Jones worked on like their second album, but no.
Okay, I'm going to guess again. Phil Spector.
Phil, no.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. It was George Clinton that worked on the Red Hot Chili Peppers second album.
It was not George Clinton. Dang it.
No. Do you give up?
I give up. I'm sorry. I don't know producers very well.
Rick Rubin.
Who the hell is Rick Rubin?
You don't know who Rick Rubin is?
No.
Oh my gosh, that surprises me. You gotta look him up.
Was he in a band?
No.
Oh, well then, okay.
He he co-started Def Jam, the record company. He has produced 8 Red Hot Chili Peppers albums to clean with numerous other bands. You gotta look him up, dude. He looks he looks like a wizard now, but he's actually a really popular, really good producer. Anyways, all right.
Okay. Sorry.
Why don't you? Do you have a phone or a tablet next to you? Or are you? No. Okay. Just look it up later. You'll be like, oh my gosh, that's a wizard. All right. Last one. Red Hot Chili Peppers covered "Love Roller Coaster," which was originally sung by the Ohio Players for this 1996 animated film. Roller coaster of love. Say what?
1996 animated film.
Film.
What would have come out in 96 that the Chili Peppers would have done a song for?
That's animated.
Lion King. This is a stab in the dark. This is a stab in the dark. So this could be so far off. I'm gonna say a Goofy movie.
So close, my friend.
Dang it. It was a Lion King, wasn't it?
It actually is a movie about a big road trip across America.
The National Lampoon Vacation.
It's animated though.
The animated version of National Lampoon Vacation.
Two men or boys travel across America. They do America.
Beavis and Butthead do America. I'm not counting that point. I feel so dumb because I heard animated without like family-friendly movies, and I was like, huh.
Anyways, there you go.
That was a good one.
Trivia. How many points did you end up with?
It was 6.
Good job.
Thanks, man.
For a band you don't care for, I'm very happy for you.
Isn't it shocking how well I do when it's bands I don't have any knowledge of?
Yeah. But now you have homework. You need to look up and become familiar with who Rick Rubin is. Yep. And his story.
Rick Ross.
Not Rick Ross. Different guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. George Clinton.
Another different guy.
You're just naming guys at this point, Chris. I understand. Also, oh my gosh, since the late 80s, the Red Hot Chili Peppers have always had a constant feud with one of my favorite bands, Mr. Bungle.
Yep, I read that on the Wikipedia too. It's mostly Anthony Kiedis is from what I read.
Yeah, because Mr. Bungle, headed by Mike Patton, in my argument, one of the most talented musicians of all time, they're not exactly like friends, and have been very mean to each other, and even to this day, there's still like awkwardness. Yeah. So there you go. To wrap up today's episode, we have got 3 questions from our mixtape game.
Q&A. Q&A. Next segment of the thing is Q&A.
I think we should do Q&A for our next episode.
Mixtape. The next segment of the show is mixtape.
Sure.
That's not good.
So we just got 3 questions. These are not super crazy, so let's get into it. Stooge, you ready?
Let's do it to it.
Best guitar solo ever.
Best guitar solo
The
ever.
best guitar solo ever.
I had to think about this one a little bit, but it came down to a little bit of personal story that made me choose this one. I'm going with, which is probably widely considered one of the best of all time. Definitely on the Mount Rushmore of guitar solos. Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin, specifically Jimmy Page.
Absolutely.
The reason I chose this one over something like Freebird or anything like that is my best friend and throughout like grade school and high school. His name is Steve. His people, I always called him Steve. He had a nickname called Rancho Steve because we were from the Madera Ranchos, and people called him Rancho Steve.
Rancho Steve.
Yeah. Anyways, shout out to Steve. Anyways, he's the one that got me into Zeppelin. He's the one that got me into like Pearl Jam, Rage Against the Machine. He's the one that introduced me to basically a lot of the music that I still like to this day and really influenced me. Anyways, he would do this funny thing whenever we'd be, cruising down, because I was always the wheel man. I always drove him everywhere. He didn't really have a car for a lot of his our youth. Anyways, our
youth.
And so he would put on Zeppelin usually. Yeah. And when this song would play Stairway right during the solo, or right leading up to the solo too, or during the solo, he would tell this stupid story about a man, and he'd get into more details that I'm going to, but like a man who's like going through all this hardship, and then right before it goes, and then he's winding down the road, like I don't know, he would just tell this hardship story. And then, like, the very end's like, and then he overcomes it all, like. And then, anyways, it's a funny memory for me from my childhood, so that's why I have fond memories. So I'm gonna go with Stairway because of that.
I love that, dude. And anytime you can tie a memory to like a piece of music like that, it stays like great forever. Mm-hmm. So I completely get you.
Yeah.
Man, you got the good like deep concepts in. I was just like, oh, this is cool. My answer, this is such a lame answer if everyone's expecting like a death metal anything. My answer is that Santana and Rob Thomas song from the 2000s, like give me your heart, make it real, or forget about it. Because the guitar solo in that song, the guitar in that song is killer. Because
what is that song called?
And it's just like the ocean under. What is that song called?
I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna look it up right now.
I'll keep talking. But the guitar solo in that song is so iconic because it's Carlos Santana. And Carlos Santana, my dad worships him. So we listened to a lot of that man's music growing up. And that one just like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people who don't know guitar solos know that song.
Yeah, like, I didn't know Carlos Santana before that song.
Exactly. What is that song called, Stooge?
I'm still looking for it. Where the hell is it? But do I have to look up Rob Thomas instead?
You can just Google Rob Thomas and Carlos Santana.
That's a good idea. I should use Google, not Apple Music. I'm so stupid.
You're not stupid. Don't you ever call yourself stupid again. I freaking swear.
I'm stupid.
Stop it. You're not stupid. You're brilliant and you're smart. Anyway, it's a great song. And the guitar solo in that, I feel like a lot of people either got into more like bluesy, music-centric stuff as opposed to just pop music.
It's not smooth, is it?
It's smooth.
No,
Thank you.
It is smooth?
Smooth.
I didn't know. I thought it would be something else. Oh, stupid ads. We're not going through this.
Stupid ads.
All right. It's a good one. Yeah.
Carlos Smooth Santana. By Rob Thomas and Carlos Santana.
Is that a different song? I can't remember.
I don't know what you were doing right there, but totally.
I think it's a different one. But anyways.
All right. Next question. What is your favorite hair metal song?
Favorite hair metal song of all time? I'm going with Hot for Teacher by Van Halen.
That's such a good answer.
It's got such a killer intro with those drum pedals.
Absolutely.
And then the intro has kind of almost a guitar solo that's just freaking shreds.
Eddie Van Halen's his guitar's nuts.
The whole song screams 80s hair metal.
Absolutely. I've got it bad. I've got it bad. I've got it bad. It's a great song.
It's one of the few, like, I feel like hair metal is really not my genre. Like Motley Crue, Twisted Sister, Kiss. I don't know if Kiss is considered hair metal, but just kind of that stuff. Not really, doesn't really speak to me. But that song is undeniably just incredible, and so that's why I'm gonna pick that as my favorite hair metal song.
That's a great answer, dude. Dang, that's a great answer. My similar vein is "Talk Dirty to Me" by Poison, because same thing, like quintessential hair metal. It was stupid, slightly dirty, and it was just about hooking up with somebody. And there's a great solo in it. So that's hair metal.
What about Pour Some Sugar on Me? Who sings that one? Is that Motley Crue?
Warrant?
Oh,
No, I
Warrant.
think it's Warrant.
Pour some
No, it's
sugar
Def
on
Leppard. It's
me.
Def Leppard. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Everybody in the comments, calm down. It was Def Leppard.
Oh my gosh. We almost got canceled.
I know. Their drummer has one arm. But yeah, Def Leppard.
I'm off the hook because I admittedly said I don't listen to lots of hair metal.
Yeah, you see, once again, you're proving that you're the better between the two of us because you're off the hook. But that's a great song too. Pour Some Sugar on Me. I feel like hair metal in general, it is like such
stripper
easy
music
listening for strippers. Exactly. Like it is easy listening if you have low morals. Like it is so great. Oh my gosh. Hair metal's classic.
You know who's really helped me with hair metal? James Gunn and that stupid.
Oh, totally.
Dang it! What's the show he did with John Cena? That superhero. Oh my gosh, on HBO.
From Suicide Squad.
Yeah. What's the name of his damn show?
The Punisher.
It's not the Punisher.
He has,
oh my
the
gosh!
American.
I watched the show and I can't remember
Patriot.
what it's called.
Yeah.
Anyways, people know what we're talking about. But like he uses a lot of '80s. I feel hair metal in that.
Absolutely.
In that series. So
yeah, man, hair metal's fun. It's stupid, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. You're gonna hate anyway. Last question. You're off the coast of Australia, about to swim with a great white shark. A great white shark.
Are the chats going to be there?
The chats are going to be there.
The chats are there? Okay.
I know. And there's no cage. What song gives you the courage to jump into the water?
I'm going to go with Baby Shark.
Oh my lord. You picked Baby Shark.
I just have to picture it as a baby shark.
And then you're fine.
Daddy Shark. No. I'm going with, because it's got a perfect lead up to me jumping in.
Yeah.
I'm going with Ball with the Ball by Kid Rock.
That is so funny.
Intro, it's kind of slow and it builds.
Yeah.
As soon as he says, "My name is Kid," right when he hits Kid, that's when you jump in.
That's when you jump in. Yeah.
Or maybe it's right when that drum hits it. Dun 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 dun. Kid Rock, and that's when the splash hits.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways,
I love it.
So that's what we go with.
My answer is going to be Peaches by Justin Bieber, because I'd rather just jump into water with a shark than hear the entire song.
Oh, gotcha. So that's the motivation.
No, that's a mean answer. Sorry, everybody. Sorry to all the Bieber fans that I just, offended.
I think you need to apologize to Bieber himself.
I think you need to apologize to Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber. No, my answer is going to be Jump by Van Halen, because that just sounds fun. that song is instructional, and you have to jump. So might as well just listen to it in the moment. Yeah.
Or crisscross. Crisscross.
Yes, crisscross jump.
They're gonna make you. You can't help it.
They're gonna make you.
Crisscross will make you. Jump,
did we have that on our
one hit wonders?
Bracket?
No, it did. That was one of the ones that didn't make it. It was because we already had jump around. I want to say there was another jump song on there too.
There was a lot of jumping in the 90s.
They did some jumping. Yeah, it was a good time.
Right. It was a great time to jump. Anyway.
Now we're all jumped out.
We're jumped out, all right. Yeah. Amen. And that's our mixtape game. A lot of the songs we talked about in today's episode will be on our weekly playlist, which you can find on Spotify and Apple Music, and we link them in our social medias all the time. Mm-hmm. So they're not hard to find. Stooge, that's all we had. What else do you want the people to know?
Nothing. That's that's all, folks.
Oh, I thought you were actually having a stroke.
No.
How come we never ever checked on Porky Pig? If he suffered a stroke and that's why he talks like that.
Well, maybe that's also why he never wears pants. It's either that or he's a pervert.
Oh, Porky Pig's 100% a pervert.
His name is Perky. Yeah, we got
there's literally no prayer for that man in a normal life.
If your name's Hansy Chris, it's he had it coming.
It's pretty handsy.
Yeah,
that's pretty handsy.
Yeah.
And
Hansy Hank.
Can you imagine being called Hansy Chris? Can you even imagine? If you got nothing else, man, I think we're good to
wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Thank you to anybody who made it this far. Oh, what's a word? If you made it this far in the episode, what is a word they should leave?
Either Porky Pig or Hansy Chris.
Do Porky Pig or
Sidehead.
Hansy Chris? Put Sidehead. If you made it this far into the episode, comment below and say side or DM us on Instagram, because it's just so freaking funny. Oh gosh, some of that. If you give Stooge Sidehead a quick Google, you get some interesting websites. Oh gosh. Speaking of interesting websites, if you're on social media, you know who you should follow? Deadwax Show. We are on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram. It's where you should follow us. We'll get better at TikTok, we swear.
We'll change, baby. We'll change. I promise.
We're changing. Yeah,
we'll change.
We've been seeing a counselor. Follow us there for more updates on our episodes, when we're going to post new episodes, what wild content's happening. If Stooge takes his shirt off or something, we're going to be posting about it. So be following us there. You can also follow our personal handles, Chicken Waffles Forever and Vinyl Stooge, on Instagram and TikTok. It's where you see all the things that we do that's not
Deadwax.
That's not Deadwax, even though it is sometimes Deadwax. It's kind of a lot to follow, but get into it. And as always, we appreciate anybody that made it this far and anybody that is willing to support us, because as Stooge is demonstrating right now, we are idiots. And we are grateful for anybody that still listens to this show. Because we're
all two of you.
All two of you, we appreciate it.
Papa Waffles and I don't know who's the other one.
Somebody else.
It's the way it changes.
Corey. My wife hates my records on Instagram. Corey always listens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, we thank you to everybody that listens to this. And as always, we would ask that each and every one of you please try to get out of the groove and get into the Deadwax. Goodbye, everybody. Chrissy, wake up. I don't like this.
I'll stick my fingers
Chrissy,
in my
wake
nose,
up. Chrissy, wake up.
That's weird.
It's rad though. Do it.
I'll just put it on the side.